Grid piecing is a fun and easy technique to create the look of perfect points at your corners. Put a lot of pieces together without having to piece them individually. In this technique, you place all of your squares on a fusible material such as fusible fleece, interfacing, or batting, and then you iron on the squares before sewing them. I will show you in this quick tutorial how it works, and I've never made a full quilt this way. I actually just learned about it this year, and I've made just a few small projects like these. You can buy some projects with a printed grid on it, but I'm just using plain fusible fleece here. I'm putting all of these squares in a grid on my fusible fleece. I'm making sure they are right up next to each other and for the most part lined up in the rows and columns. You actually might even want just a small gap in between, maybe like a 1/16 of an inch. And once you have your layout decided, you are going to go ahead and fuse the fabric onto the material according to the package directions. For mine, I just pressed it with an iron. Once you are done fusing the fabric onto the batting or fleece or whatever you're using, we are going to start folding the column so that the entire first column is folded over right sides together, and then you sew a 1/4 inch from the fold on the outside, so on the side where the fusible fleece or batting is. So right along this folded line, I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch. After sewing, this is what it should look like. I do recommend lowering your stitch length, especially if you're using a thicker material like fusible fleece, because you don't want your stitches to show on the other side here, and that's what it'll look like. And then we just repeat the process with all of the columns. So now I'm folding over to that second line, and I will do the same, so a 1/4 inch from the fold. Repeat this with all of your columns. Once you have sewn along all of those folds, this is what it should look like on the back. You'll notice on the front these are more like rectangles. That is because we have not sewn along the horizontal lines yet. We are going to go ahead and stick a scissors right in that fold and cut out the entire 1/4 inch seam allowance. This part can be a little tricky. I definitely recommend using a smaller scissors than what I have here. I just could not find mine at the time. And don't be afraid of cutting your fabric slightly. That is okay, but try to get as much as up into the fold where you're cutting as possible, and be careful not to clip your stitches at all. After trimming the fleece or interfacing open, you will want to go ahead and press your seams open and repeat this with all of the seams. I also like to give it a quick press on the front too. Now we're just going to repeat the same exact process, only going the other direction, or rows instead of columns. And again, just sew a 1/4 inch from the fold there. Repeat that with all of the rows, and then we're going to cut them open. With fusible fleece or thicker material, cutting this part open can be kind of a pain, though I really think the result is worth it. Again, we're going to press these seams open to reduce bulk as much as possible. And that is it. I give it a good press on the front, and now we have this piece of patchwork that has those beautiful lined up corners. Let me know if you give it a try.